Hello, 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 and welcome to day number 3 of the 5-day Life Coach Challenge. I hope that you are enjoying your weekend on this beautiful weekend here in Baltimore. I'm absolutely loving the weather that we're having here. I hope that you guys are doing the same wherever you are, whoever is listening to the recording and the replay of this challenge of day number 3. Now listen, we done already talked about your mindset. We done already talked about your niche. Now we're going to talk about actually going out to get the people, to reach the people that need your mindset and what you have to share with them. So I'm super excited to get into the content that we have planned for us this for day number 3. But before we get into day number 3, I want to go back and touch on day number 2. Day number 2's homework assignment was to read Amazon reviews on your topic. And I want you to, if you did not do that, do not skip over that process, because there is gold, literally gold and diamonds in the comment section on Amazon in the niche that you have chosen, okay? Whenever you get stuck, whenever you can't think of something to post or to say or to teach or whatever, just always know that you can go back to the Amazon reviews, because that came from real people asking questions or making comments. And or, oh my goodness, hello Chat GPT. We are now in these days where you can literally log on to Chat GPT and type in, can you create 3 posts a day for 30 days on blank topic, right? You fill in the blank on confidence. Tell Chat GPT you're a life coach and you help people build their confidence. Tell it to create you 30 days worth of content, posting 3 times a day, and guess what? It's going to create that for you in less than 30 seconds, and you have nothing else to do but go to work. Like, literally, it's going to shoot out the blueprint, and you put your creativity behind it, your story, and there is your entire marketing plan and marketing strategy. I mean, there is absolutely no reason why in today's time that we are not utilizing these tools to reach people. There's absolutely no excuse. There just isn't. These apps are free for us to use, and hello, somebody, most of them pay you to create content. Hello, I get a check from YouTube. I get a check from Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. Like, not only are these apps free for us to utilize to get our message out there, but these apps need us. They need content, and so they reward us by paying us for our work as well. So I want you to get excited about this, because when I had my store, I always like to talk about this when I talk about social media marketing, because I had my boutique, and I would have the marketing lady come to me on, I believe, a Wednesday, and she would come to my store to get what I was going to say for that week inside of the Penny Saver, and she would go back to her office. Well, I wouldn't see my ad in the paper for 3 days. So she came to my store. I didn't see it 3 days later. That's insane when you think about, I can take a picture of something today, post it on social media, and it has the potential to spread like wildfire, like in a matter of hours, where I had to wait for someone to come to my store, and it takes 3 days before it hit publication. I mean, get excited about this. Really, really get excited about this. So if you have downloaded your worksheet for day number 3, we're going to talk about the rich content strategy. I'm going to give you that in a minute. But before we do, I want you to actually define your goals. I want you to think about your social media strategy planning. You're going to define your goals, right? So every single week you should have a new goal. Every single week, and the goal can be the same. Like, say if you're promoting a class and you have given yourself 3 weeks to promote it, well, when you're defining your goals for those next 3 weeks, your goals is to get people signed up, right? So therefore, you know what content you need to create in order to get people to sign up. And so you already know for the next 3 weeks, I'm not going to talk about anything else other than ... other than this class that I have coming up or this event that I want to promote, right? So define your goals, and your goals are going to change from week to week. And like I said, even if you are doing something 3 weeks in advance and you're marketing for it, you still want to revisit your goals every single week to make sure that you're accomplishing it. Even if the goal doesn't necessarily change week to week, it should be improving and getting to where you ultimately want to go. So that's very important. If you need to, I want you to rewind this audio and listen to what I just said again, because that is gold. When you are marketing, you just think about it like this. Think about Target. When you think about Target, Target has certain times of the year when they are bringing out certain brands, certain products, and they will market that thing, and that's all they're talking about. You'll hear the ads about it. You'll see the ads. You'll see it on their social media. They are promoting that one thing, and that's, throughout the whole year, they're going to, so once this promotion is over, okay, bam, that's done. Now we're on to the next thing, right? And so the same with you. You're going to be constantly promoting, and so you want to constantly think about how can you creatively market yourself every single week and come up with new ways to get eyeballs on your content and onto your business, okay? So I really want you to understand that, because oftentimes when people work a full-time job and they want to become a full-time entrepreneur, they don't know what to do with their days, right? Their days, they're like, okay, well, what do I do? Because if you've been going to work for so long from 9 to 5, you go into that job, you know exactly what to do because your boss is giving you instructions, or you were hired for a specific problem to solve, and you go in there and solve it. So when you're an entrepreneur, it's like you are your own boss. You have to make your own schedule. If you don't show up, nobody's going to know about you, and you're not going to make any income or an impact, right? So I really want you to think about that and take that seriously. Like, you really got to sit down with a calendar and map out your content. Say, okay, this is June. I'm going to talk about this in June. In July, I'm going to talk about this in July. In August, I'm going to talk about this in August. And at the top of every month, this is something that I do to help myself stay on track month to month and week to week. I theme my month. So every single month, I'll create a theme, and that theme will guide all of the content, all of the classes that I promote for that month. That helps that helps me streamline everything, and it keeps the stress off of me of like, oh my gosh, what am I going to sell? Oh my gosh, what am I going to promote? Oh my gosh, what am I going to talk about today? So that is very important, to define your goals, and also your audience persona. This is important too, and it may not be clear to you right now. I remember when I first started this, and people would say, write down your ideal customer. And I'm like, I don't know my ideal customers. I just want to help people, right? And so that didn't come and become clear until later. And I also didn't understand why I needed to know it. Like, okay, I hear people say create your customer avatar, your client avatar, but I didn't know why to do it either. And so now I know why to do it. And when you know why, it's simply because you will know how to talk to people. You'll know when to talk to those people. You'll know how to show up for those people. You'll know the importance of showing up for those people. It's really, really different. I will say later on, more so than in the beginning, you may not know your audience persona right now, and that's okay. It's okay if you don't know any of this stuff. Remember, this challenge is to see if this is something that you want to do, to either to add on to your education and help you because you have decided to become a coach and you just want some more education on it and guidance. So no stress. Do not stress. Take a deep breath. Everything is all good, okay? And then I want to share with you the most important aspect of social media is this. Let me do a little drum roll. Let me get my little drum roll. Here's a little drum roll. But the most important aspect of social media is to be yourself. I cannot tell you how you are going to be challenged, tempted to be like somebody else, to talk like somebody else, to post like how they post, or to niche how they niched. And I'm telling you right now, be yourself. And obviously we have to go through our own journey. Like, yeah, you can hear me say be yourself, but then you know, it's like, okay, but that's easy for you to say now that you're on the other side of that. Excuse me. When I first came to the internet, I tried to be like Valerie Burton. Now, if you know little sweet powerhouse Valerie Burton, you know this woman stands about 5'3". She has a very soft voice. She speaks so proper. She doesn't use her whole entire body to talk like I do. Like, I was so subdued and so stiff in my YouTube videos. I was like, oh my gosh, because I thought that's what I needed to do in order to attract my clients. Child, it wasn't until it wasn't until I really started to become myself that I started to really see my audience showing up. Okay, so really be yourself and write that down. Like, what does that look like for you? What are some things that you've been holding back about yourself? Is there a personality trait that you think is kind of quirky and you're like, oh, I need to change that about myself? You probably don't. You probably don't, because there is a group of people that need that from you, right? I remember years ago, someone commented on one of my YouTube videos. I was making jewelry, and I still don't know what the names of the tools are called, needle nose plier, this twist. I don't know. And so in the video, I'm just like holding the tools up to the camera. I'm like, okay, you're going to need this. I don't know what this is called. Then you're going to need this. I don't know what this is called. And somebody commented and said, I love how you don't know any of the names of the tools, but you know how to use them very well. And that, to me, that was just so funny, like, because I'm not trying to act like I know anymore, right? It's okay for me not to know what this tool is called. I can use it. That's all I need to know. Child, if you want to know the name of it, you look it up, okay? So I really started to just become myself, and that's when I found my groove and found my people. All right, so for my note takers, I want you to write the word rich going down the left-hand side of your paper, and I'm going to fill it in. And this is also your homework. It says create 5 days worth of content with the rich content strategy, and I'm going to give it to you right now. Number one, these are things that you want to think about every single time you post. Now you're going to be tempted. Like, you guys have no idea how I have to hold myself back from posting my food on social media, because I love, like, when I make my food, it's always pretty. I use really pretty plates, and the food always looks so pretty, and my drink is always in a gorgeous looking cup, and it just looks so Instagram, right? And so I do my best to refrain from posting my food, because what does that have to do with coaching, right? Unless, of course, I can make it make sense, right? But I just don't. And so, but I send it to my sister every single day. I send my sister every single day all my food. If I'm eating a snack, breakfast, lunch, dinner, I'm taking a picture of it and I send it to my sister, because I feel like that's not rich content for my audience. Okay, so now let's get into what is rich content. Number one for R is relevant. Make sure it is relevant to your audience. If your dog, I know your dog is cute, but if that dog ain't relevant to building your confidence, don't post it, especially in the beginning when you're building your brand. You really, really want to be kind of stoic in this area. You really want to be firm in this until you like Oprah Winfrey. Right? Oprah Winfrey was, talk show host. Before that, a news anchor here in Maryland. I don't know all of the jobs that she had, but I do know that eventually she had food in the grocery store, and I bought the food in the grocery store that had Oprah's name on it just based off the fact that it was Oprah. Now, if it was this brand new person that I didn't know that was telling me to go get their food in the grocery store, I probably wouldn't, because I didn't have a relationship with them. I don't know them for anything. And so when you're new, you really do want to hone in on that one thing, like we talked about yesterday in the niche, because the niche will make you rich, and you really want to hone in on that one thing until you become known for it. When you become known for that thing, that's when it's really safe to start marketing and posting other irrelevant content. Okay, so that's number one. Make sure it's relevant. Number two, make sure that it is informative. Remember, we talked about the posts that we share. If I go onto Pinterest right now, I guarantee you I can find from A to B how to bake an apple pie, and I don't have to pull out my credit card. I'm not going to buy nobody's ebook. I don't have to do any of that. It's going to be free online from start to finish. I can find an extremely informative video on how to bake an apple pie. So I want you to think, whatever your niche is, I want you to think, how can I create the most informative confidence video? If that is your thing, if you help women become more confident, how can I create the most informative video right now, or the most informative class, or the most informative post or reel or TikTok, whatever it is? You want to make sure that it's extremely informative. Number three is captivating. I use this term where I say you got to get people to stop the scroll. People are scrolling, you're scrolling, I'm scrolling. Just think about it for yourself. You are your people. When you're on social media and something catches your eye, you stop. Think, what caught your eye? See, this is the time where you need to be very self-aware of all of your actions to see why you buy certain things, why you move the way that you move. When was the last time you clicked the link in somebody's bio, and what made you actually take that action? All those things, all those movements and experiences, you want to be very mindful of that, because that's how you're going to need to start operating as well. Okay, so you want to be captivating. Remember, we talked about creating your transformational story. What story do you have that really can drop the jaws of an audience? Oh my gosh, I cannot believe she made it out of that. Oh my gosh, did she? Wow. How does she look that good after all that she just said that she's been through, right? So you want to tell those stories. And there's something that I often like to say, and it is this. The story that you don't want to tell is the story that you need to tell. I mentioned before how I did not want to tell the world that I failed the ninth grade 3 times, did not graduate from high school, and did not get a high school diploma, got no formal training. I did not want to tell that story because I was afraid of how people were going to judge me. Now I love telling that story, right? It's captivating. It's wow, it's just, you just wouldn't think that I didn't finish at least high school, right? I don't sound that crazy, right? So that's number 3 for C, is to make sure that it is captivating. And for the last and final one for H is make sure that it is high quality. If you wouldn't sell it, don't give it. I want you to write that down. When you think about creating content, if you wouldn't sell it, don't buy it. Oftentimes, a lot of coaches say, I want to wait and save my good content for my clients or for when people hire me. And I'm like, no, baby, that's just like saying you open up a bakery, right? You open up a bakery and only 2 people show up for your grand opening. So you're only going to give them, some scraps in the back because you ain't get a full house. No, you have to, excuse me. Excuse me. You have to give people good stuff in order for them to buy from you. If you would not sell it, don't give it away. If you're creating a workshop, if you're creating an Instagram post, a TikTok, if you're creating an ebook, if you and this is, something free, always think, would I sell this? Just ask that question, would I sell this? Because I can tell you 1,000% I would sell this 5-day challenge that we're going through right now. Because in my opinion, it is extremely valuable. Right? And so if you would not sell it, do not give it away. Do not give it away. And it's social media, you guys. Be social. Be social. Get out here in these internet streets and be who you are. Listen, I told y'all the other day we have lived longer than we probably have to go in the vitality and the flexibility that we have now. So the best time to start building your brand, even if you don't have anything to sell, you don't have a website, you don't have a link in your bio, hell, you ain't even chosen your niche yet. Just start posting rich content using the rich content strategy, and I promise you, you are going to look up one day and have so many followers, so many DMs, so many people saving your content, so many people asking you to help them and asking you to coach them. I hope, wish, and pray that day number 3 served you. Tomorrow we are going to talk about digital product creation. That's one of my favorite things to talk about, okay? So don't be late to class tomorrow. I'm so grateful for you guys for showing up for day number 3. I will see you guys tomorrow. Enjoy your day.
To receive more information about additional products by Angel Richardson or engage her for seminars or women's conferences, please visit www.angelrichardson.com.